Hey guys, Carnage6 back with another Dragon Ball Collection update. And first off, I found this unique little item on eBay. It's a Dragon Ball gold coin. I've never seen anything like it before, so when I saw it on eBay, I knew I had to have it. And the description said it was some kind of exclusive to a Japanese show. I don't know if it's a Japanese toy show or I don't know what, but anyway, if you guys know what the heck this thing is or where it's from, let me know. And as you can see, if we turn it on the back, it does have the Dragon Ball logo, a bunch of words, and it has the toy sticker. So it's an official product, I just don't know where it came from. I just thought it was unique, so I picked it up. Alright, next I've got a couple of vintage Dragon Ball figures from 1986 from the company Epoch in Japan. These figures are really cool. Some of the oldest Dragon Ball figures they made. And I think I've shown the Roshi one before because it's been in my collection for a while, but these other two, the Oolong and the Yamcha, I don't think I've shown before. Now what I would really love to do is to take them out of the box and show you everything, but because they're so old and because they're still mint in the box, although the boxes aren't mint, and they're very hard to find, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass on showing them right now. Hopefully I'll be able to find some loose ones somewhere down the line or something to show you, and then I can do a proper review. But for right now, just enjoy these cool things. Now I think I'm missing Goku and Bulma in this line. Not sure if they made any more, but if you guys know, post a comment below. Now so far this line I have this Roshi figure who looks pretty cool. It looks like he comes with the turtle shell and his staff, but see that sticker sheet? Guess what that's for? That's actually to put blood coming out of his nose. You put those stickers to act as blood. Actually, I think it shows it on the back of the box, if I'm correct. Yeah, see, you put the stickers there. Oh, he also seems to have his fan too, so that's pretty neat. And also in this line I have the Oolong figure. Now he comes with a little motor scooter, his hat, and it looks like a change of clothes. I'm not sure how that works, but it shows on the back, as you can see, that you can put his other outfit on him. Again, since I can't take him out, I don't really know how it works, but that's pretty cool. And finally, the last figure I have for this line is Yamcha. And as you can see, he comes with Puar, it looks like a gun, a sword, his sheath. He comes with a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what that is. Is that a telescope or something? I'm not sure. Let's flip around and see if we can tell. I don't know. It's still, I guess it's a telescope. Or I don't know what it is. You guys can tell me, hopefully. And the Puar looks pretty cool. Again, I'd love to take it out of the box, but I just can't do it. Another weird vintage Japanese Dragon Ball thing I found was this set of cards, playing cards. Looks like it's by a company called Showa. I don't know what kind of game you play with it. Maybe someone out there can help me. But let's take a look. So you've got all these cards. Actually, I don't really... Like, these have never been opened. Look at that. like I said, the whole pack's here. These have been. I guess these are character cards or something like that. They're mostly upside down. I'll try to keep them right side up. There's a muscle tower. Again, no idea how you're supposed to play this game or what you're supposed to do with this game, but I just thought these were damn cool. And these cards have never been opened. Here, let me clear it out a little bit. Is that the instruction booklet? I don't know. Is that the instructions? Maybe someone can tell me. Anyway, awesome vintage Dragon Ball item. Hope you guys liked it. Now next up we've got the Bandai Dragon Ball Gokusai figures. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. That's what it was listed under eBay for, so I hope I'm pronouncing it somewhat correctly. As far as I know, this is the only series they ever made of them, and I'm kind of curious to see what they're like, so let's open them up. Now here they are out of the box, and some of them do look pretty cool. I can tell you why I think they might not have made any more. One of the annoying things is that they each come with a stand, and every single one of them needs the stand, or else it's just going to fall right over. That kind of sucks. I mean, I've had the Bandai Gachapons come with stands, but I've always been able to make them stand, most of them anyway, on their own, and not had a need for the stand. These ones, you need them because they're all off balance. But still, some of the characters look pretty cool. So let me show you them in a bit more detail. Alright, so I'm going to switch to handheld mode because these figures are pretty small. First off, we have Trunks. That pose is pretty cool. Then we got Gohan. Then we got the big guy, Cell. Then Goku. And finally, Super Saiyan Trunks. Again, like I said, these figures are pretty cool looking, but I just don't like the fact that you gotta use a stand and you have no other option. Otherwise, cool figure. And now I think it was in my last video that I showed some of these before. I really love these figures. I believe they're by Bandai, I think. Maybe some of them might be by Poppy, I'm not sure. But these are the ones that are the Keshi figures, the little you know, Gashapon-like figures, but they have either metal or plastic chest pieces, and as you can see, I found a bunch of them on eBay, and I bought them all up, even though there's some doubles in there, because I just love them so much, but I might sell the doubles. At one point, I was going to try and collect, like, all the variations, like, because they make these plastics and different, so I was going to get, like, the purple one of all these would be purple, and then I get all blue set and all green set, but then I figured that would be mentally insane, and I would never accomplish that, and that was kind of stupid, so I'm probably going to sell my doubles and keep the best one, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to keep. Anyway, if you want to see how these figures were, or how you assemble them, I have one that's unassembled here, a Goku figure. Here's his legs part, and then you have the, if I can find the right part, you have the legs, and then you have the back. Is this the back? Yeah, this is the back of his outfit. And you kind of snap that on there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on camera, but let's try. Then you have his arms, and they go in these little holes here. Well, kind of, like that. And again, this one goes in here. If it will stay. It's staying so far. Then you have the head, the Goku head. And you put that in the back right there. And finally you have the front of his chest. And you just stick that all together, and there's your Goku figure. Now the cool thing about these is that, well, they don't stay together too well. I suppose if you wanted to, you could like glue them together. But the cool thing is that they kind of have a little bit of articulation. You can go like that a bit. You can turn the head a bit if you want. And you can rotate at the waist there. So that's pretty cool. For Gashapon figures, they usually don't have that. And that's another reason why I like these things. They're just damn cool. Now here's a couple of weird figures I found on eBay. I believe Old Fan has shown a bunch of these in her videos in the past. This is from a company called Yolanda. Now normally these figures are completely painted. Like they look normal, well, as normal as I can, other than the fact that they're really horribly sculpted. But they look like the character they're supposed to because they're all painted. But these ones are unpainted for some reason, and I don't know why that is. So I bought them. Maybe they just made some that were painted, some that weren't. I don't know. These next figures are kind of weird. They're model kits from a company called Elfin in Korea. Now I'm pretty sure they're bootlegs. In fact, I'm pretty much 100% sure they're bootlegs, but this is an actual company that released them.
I don't know if there was some kind of deal with Elfin. Oh, here's, I guess, some other ones you can get, and you can see they have all different kinds of anime figures that they offered. And you can tell they're bootlegs because these boxes are just in generic boxes, and I don't know if you can see, but this outer thing is not even printed. It's a sticker. This is like it's a picture of whatever model kit is stuck on the front. See, you can kind of see it up here where the label is peeling. So anyway, we've got a Kid Goku figure, and we got a Super Saiyan Goten figure, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to open the Goku figure because I actually have one that looks exactly like this as a resin statue, so I'm going to open up the Goten figure and show you a little bit what it is. It's just basically an unpainted model kit. Here's the instructions. I'm no good at these model kits, especially these unpainted resin ones or whatever they are. I'm not even sure if it's resin or just some kind of plastic. But anyway, that's what you get. There's his face in there, if you can kind of see it. I don't know if you can. And his hair right there. I mean, you got to trim all this stuff off and stick it together, and I just don't have the patience for that. So, unfortunately, this one's going to remain unbuilt. But they're cool things to have.
Alright, up next, guys, we've got these weird watch sets from, well, people tell me it's from Korea. I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know. I don't know if the company's R&B or this diamond thing on the bottom. I don't know who made them. They're just weird little watches, and I think I will open the one that is bad condition with all the sun fading on front. So let's take it out. Alright, so here we have the watch. This is an awesome design here. I love the vintage design of it. I don't know how old these things are. I don't know if I can see a date on here, and I can't. I don't know if someone can see a date on there. Let me know. But it looks like it's based on the original Dragon Ball series. It has a plastic strap here, and now the cool thing is when you want to see the time, you open that up, and you got a cool little Goku figure here. And the neat thing is that his arms can go up and down and all that stuff. And his head turns too. Well, actually, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I was wrong, actually. This is interesting. I didn't know this because I haven't opened these things. And I can't figure out how to get it, but apparently he actually turns into a figure, a full figure. I don't know if, can we take him out? Is that possible? Oh, wait, you can also take him out. Okay, well, that's interesting. See, I didn't even know that. So anyway, you pull the figure out, I guess, of the watch. And again, he's got the articulation there on the arms. And now the fun thing is that to see the time, you just peel off his face, peel up his face there. Now, I don't have any batteries in this, but the time would be in there somewhere. So that's cool. Not only is it a watch, but it's also a cool Dragon Ball Goku figure with a clock in his head. Now here's a quick little vintage figure I picked up on eBay. I have no idea where it came from. As you can see, it's a pen. The pen has long stopped working, but yeah, it used to be a pen now. It's got Roshi on the top, and it's got a little trigger here. And basically when you push the trigger, you get Roshi clapping like that. Anyway, as I said, it's pretty neat. I just picked it up because I just randomly saw it on eBay, and I'm like, I gotta have this because I love vintage Dragon Ball stuff. So, I mean, here you can see what it says on there, I think. So anyway, if you guys know what this is, where it came from, let me know. Now next, we have even more weird vintage Dragon Ball stuff. I found these on eBay, and I just had to pick them up, even though I have no idea what they are used for. At first, obviously, when you look at them, you think that they're table tennis rackets, you know, for playing table tennis. But if you can see how my hand to this, like, it is way too big to be one of those. So, I don't know. Was it for, like, spanking people on the butt or something? I don't know. It's marked 1986. As you can see, there's nothing on the other side, so maybe it's for some kind of Japanese game? Kids game? I don't know, but they're like real They're real wood, so like what kind of game would you play with that? It's a mystery to me. If you guys can help me out, post a comment below. Here is yet another cool vintage Dragon Ball toy I picked up. It looks like it's some kind of top spinning game. As you can tell, it's quite old. And it is made by Epoch, which made a lot of the vintage Dragon Ball toys back in the 80s. So I've never opened this thing, so why don't we crack it open and see if I can figure out how to play it. Now this looks pretty nice. When I opened it, I found out that it looks like it had never been taken out of the box ever. Like all the stuff looked brand new. This is cardboard, so you got to be really careful about that. But look, mine looks in pristine condition, and this ring is actually plastic, so it could probably easily get chipped or cracked. And the ropes are elastic bands. That's pretty neat. It also comes with this sticker sheet with various characters on it, and I haven't figured out what the heck you're supposed to do with that. Now the main pieces it comes with are these two figures, the Kid Goku and the Roshi figure. Now, I kind of figure out how it's supposed to work, but I can't get it to work, if that makes any sense. It comes with these tops and you're supposed to put them on the bottoms here, and like I guess it's supposed to spin, and whoever top wins or gets knocked out of the ring is the loser or something like that. But here, I'll show you in a second. I can't really figure out how to do it. Like, see, I've got the top here, and it's supposed to go on here somehow. Like, snap on there somehow. But how you make it spin? I don't know, because it just seems to just drop off. Like, there's nothing to push. There's a button that launches it. There's no way to make it actually spin. Like, push the button and it drops, but no way to actually spin the top, so I don't know. For now, this cool toy is going to have to remain a mystery. And up next, we have a vintage model kit by Kyoto. I've shown a couple of these before in my other updates. It was the ones with the Kid Goku and Piccolo model kits, if you remember those. This one is called the Watchman of Treasure, and it is quite a lot more complex than the previous ones I showed you, so I thought it would be worth taking a look. Why don't I just open it up and see what we've got. Now, as I said, this one is much more complex than the one I showed you before. I mean, look at all the parts in here. There's just a ton. Here's the little, I don't know if you can see that, the little figures in there. You can kind of see some of their heads. There's Bulma. And even more parts. Plus the base, which is really heavy. This is a really, really heavy piece, but it looks pretty cool. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this make? Well, all you have to do is look at the instructions. If I can show them to you. And well, it doesn't show you the full done thing, but you can tell that this is the scene with the pirate robot in Dragon Ball. It even comes with little crates and everything. There's kind of, that's how it's going to look when it's done. That looks pretty cool. It looks, you'd see it's even cutting through the crates here. That would be awesome. Now, I love these model kits, and I wish that I was a person who could do model kits, but these kind of kits, I can't do it. Because if I could put together this thing, that would be totally awesome. But anyway, I thought you guys would just like to see it, because it's cool. And finally, here is the last vintage figure I'm going to talk about in this update. As you can tell, this was made by Bandai in 1986, and it is a bath accessory set. So I'm going to just open it and let you guys have a look at what it comes with, because I have no idea. Alright, so when you open the box, you get this cool case. And it's got a little handle on here and everything. And, well, why don't we open it up and see what you get inside.
I've already looked at this, so I kind of know, and I'm going to have to ask your guys' opinion on what some of this stuff is, because I really don't know. Let's start with the stuff that I know what it is. I'm guessing this is for keeping your soap. That's what it looks like it is to me. This is a sponge, I guess, for scrubbing. I guess you put it there and you scrub or something like that. Pretty cool graphics on there. Now we're getting into the weird stuff. I have no idea what it is. Okay, this. It looks like the power pole, right? Okay, well, from what I can see, it seems to make a noise or something when you do that. When I pulled the whole thing out, that's all I see on it. This is one of the things I'm like totally clueless. Do you know what it is? Because I certainly don't. Then we've got like random bits in here. I can't figure out what they go to. Like this stuff, there's like a Bulma sign here, a little sign. I don't know if you can see that. And there's an oolong sign, and like what is that for? That's gonna get, if you put this in the bath, that's gonna get lost right away. This is for like an accessory set for Japanese kids to have a bath with, is what I'm guessing. Then we've got two of these weird pieces in here. I don't know what they are. They don't go together. They don't go together. They got styrofoam in them. What the hell? And then we got these weird thingies like this. They have like clips on them, but there's nowhere to clip them to, and they have something inside it, so when you shake it, it makes noise. What the hell, you know? Okay, with all the weird stuff out of the way, let's get to the stuff that I know what it is. These are like bath toys. Now, first off, we have the turtle, Roshi's turtle, and of course, wouldn't be complete without a Roshi Keshi figure. So you just put the Roshi on there, and you can float Roshi around in the bath. How awesome is that? Next up, we have the Nimbus Cloud, as you can see. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, look. I just figured one of them out. So this goes here. Wait, this goes on here. But why does it go on there is the question. Is it supposed to be like, ooh, look, I'm flying through the air? I don't know. And it makes noise, so... Well, I figured out where it goes. I just don't know what the heck it does still. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We've got the Nimbus Cloud, and of course you have to have a Goku Keshi figure to ride on your Nimbus Cloud. That's pretty cool. You stick them there, put them in your bath, and float them around. Now, here's just a random bootleg figure I found on eBay, and it's interesting for a couple of reasons. It's a Super Saiyan 3 Goku figure. Now, if we just take it out of the box, if you're a big Dragon Ball collector, you might notice why it's special. And that is because it's actually a bootleg of the Japanese model kits. And I've never seen a bootleg of a model kit that wasn't... Like, I've seen bootlegs of the model kit, but they kept it as a model kit. This, they turned the model kit into an actual figure and gave it, like, articulation, which is totally bizarre. I think, actually, Goshen did a video on this figure, so if you want to see it in better detail, maybe head over to her channel. Alright, so I thought I'd end this collection update with some more weird Mexican bootleg figures. You know how I love to collect really weird, odd-looking Dragon Ball figures, and the Mexican bootleg figures, well, they're some of the weirdest. On the left, we've got a weird-looking Super Saiyan Trunks in Saiyan armor, and he's got some kind of bizarre symbols there. I don't know what they mean. And we've got a Tien, which doesn't look half bad, and again, he's got like a dragon symbol on his outfit. And here's two more Mexican bootleg figures. The one on the left is a bad copy of the Jax Frieza, I'm pretty sure anyway. And the one on the right, I don't know who the hell that's supposed to be. He's got the ugliest face sculpt I've ever seen. Maybe he's supposed to be one of Turles' men in the Tree of Might movie. I don't know. If you guys know, post a comment below. And finally, here's the last Mexican bootleg figure I got. Even though it's a bootleg, I think it's still pretty cool. Now, it does have some issues with the sculpting and with the painting, but
It's cool to have another Uzaru figure in my collection, that's for sure. Again, I don't know who this is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be Vegeta? Is it supposed to be one of Bardock's guys from the movie? Who knows? If you know, tell me. So anyway, that's all for this collection update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, post a comment below. If you've got a Dragon Ball collection, why don't you film it and post it as a video response? I'd love to see it. So until next time, I'll see ya.